world is fucking. Welcome everybody. This is Japanese Daily, a little bit earlier than normal because actually like 10 hours or so, maybe earlier than normal because I'm leaving for Korea today. So I was up and out, went to the post office, and something happened that restored my faith in the power of attraction, that if you want something bad enough, it will happen. And yesterday I started the stream pretty good. And then it ended up with me being like depressed, and just complaining about life in general. So I deleted the stream. I didn't like the stream. I didn't delete it. I never delete, for the record. I'm too proud of every creation that I make, so I keep it. What I did though was I privated it. Anyway, what's up, June? What's up, Sage? What's up, Shime Waza? But here's what happened, guys. In yesterday's stream, I talked about my waning popularity, which is not a big deal. It just is. It is what it is, right? I was never popular to begin with, and so if I'm less popular now, that makes sense. And I made a comment that normally when I'm in Japan, I would get recognized, but I guess over the last 4 years, or with Corona and whatnot, like more and more people just aren't watching, right? So I'm on the way to the post office. I go to the post office with my bag. I'm going to drop off some stuff at the post office, put it in a box, ship it off. And right the moment I walk in, a guy goes, "George Trombley? From Japanese from Zero." I was like, oh God. These people, don't they see I'm out with my daughter? No, that was an Eminem reference. No, I was like, oh my God, nice to meet you. We shook his hand. And he said, "Do you mind if I take a photo?" And he's like, that was not my best Australian accent, but he's Australian. He's like, "You're the reason I'm in Japan." I'm like, oh my God, this is the number one thing I love to hear. So I said, hey. Yeah, he's like, "Hey, do you mind if I take a photo when you're done?" I'm like, "Yeah, okay, I'm just shipping off some stuff." He was like buying a car or something like that. It was a lot of work, right? For him, a lot of work for me. We ended right about the same time. And I'm like, "Hey, do you want to get lunch?" He's with his girlfriend. So we go to get lunch. Unfortunately, he's got like 20 minutes to get back. So I didn't get to hear like his whole life story. But he saw some videos, and then he did a working holiday in like when he was 26. Now he's back at 31. He's still learning Japanese. He made a girlfriend. They've been going out for like 3 years. 3 months. And she's beautiful. Looks like she speaks English fluently. Very reasonable person. I'm sure she didn't want to hang around with me, so she actually left. We went to Caesarea first, but you had to put your name down, and he only had 20 minutes to get back. So I was like, well, wait a minute, why don't we just go to McDonald's or something like that? Just make it quick. And I think maybe she didn't want to go to McDonald's. Either way, she doesn't know who I am, so she left. But then I talked to the guy, and it's just funny how such a short, like quick, maybe even a quick decision about, oh, I'm going to learn Japanese can change your life, which is funny because I say that in the first video. I said, this is not just a language. This can change your life, deciding to learn Japanese. Maybe for the better, Anyway, that's my restoration of balance a little bit. I feel good about that. There's still people that know. The universe was like, you're important. Look, this guy is saying he learned Japanese and you're the reason I'm here. It's nice. One person's enough. But anyway, I'm going to enjoy this apple pie because I ran out of time because he had to go and I figured I'll just leave, give him a way out. The Daniel accent, yes, that's what that was for sure. Yeah, I don't know. I can't do the British accent. I mean the Australian accent, sorry. Yes, I'm basing all of my accent off of Daniel Lord, the guy from Hiding in My Room. I would recommend his channel, but I feel like you would regret it. You would not be happy if I recommended it, but hey, if you got a moment, go check it out. Oh, this is so good. So one thing has changed for the better in Japan. In the past, when you wanted to mail things out, you had to fill out this ancient form, this super ancient form in triplicate, and everything you put in your bag, you have to list on the list. And it is a lot of work. USB cable, pair of socks, pair of underwear, random clip that I bought for my camera, plastic box, like, and like, what's the value? What's the weight? It's so much work. Now they don't do that anymore. You have to scan a QR code, you have to enter information, and you can create an account. This is a good thing. You can create an account and then you can track it there. It's kind of nice. However, they missed the boat. They require a Japanese address and they kind of want a Japanese phone number, but if you're a foreigner shipping to the States, you don't have that. So you have to like put your hotel address, which is dumb because if there's a problem and it returns back, it's going to go back to the hotel. So that's that. All right. Any questions? I'm not going to be on too long today, I don't think. I'm going to chill before my trip. It's like a 2-hour trip to Korea. And I'm leaving about 9 hours or so from now. No. Yes. Like around 11 o'clock tonight. By the way, does this look familiar to you? Have you seen this? If you're not aware of what kind of apple pie this is, you're kind of old. You're kind of young, sorry. This is the old, like, baked in oil apple pie. It's so good. But McDonald's in America, I guess they went healthy or cheaper. I don't know. I'm gonna guess they went cheaper because it's not good at all. I never order an apple pie in America. It's just like bread. It's like crusty bread with a little bit of applesauce. This, look at that. You know, at one point I made an apple pie song. It's somewhere in my phone. These are not the 80s pies though, man. These are the today pies in Japan. But Toda, if you live anywhere near a Jollibee, they've got these pies, but they're not apple. They're like mango and something, but they taste like the apple. They're so good. These apple pies are just like the Shimewaza knows. This guy's old enough. He's a little bit older than me. Yeah, Shimewaza, these are the apple pies. Like nothing, the exact menu from back in the day. I've had it. Zono, I was just talking about it. The Jollibee's peach mango is this apple pie. It's also exactly good. It's like perfect. I know that Ronaldo and Messi are soccer players, but that's it. That's all I know. I'm not into sports at all. Any sports. I take that back. Japanese beach volleyball. Such a good sport. It's my favorite sport. You know, they're so competitive. No, I didn't. It was a guy. Never order the smile from a guy. Sorry, it doesn't work. I don't want that on my record. Excuse me, can I get one of those manly, handsome smiles there? Hi. Normally I eat these at the end of the meal. And I like to open it up a little bit before. They're not so hot. And this one I walked all the way back to the hotel, so it's like the perfect temperature right now. Although once I was in the post office, right? And I didn't even get the guy's name. I didn't even ask him his name. He might have told me, but I don't remember it. I had to like see if like what size box to put things in. So there was like a huge box and I was like, probably the huge box because I had a lot of junk, you know. It's really just junk. It's just stuff I don't need. Except for this small monitor I was sending back. But now that he was there, you feel a little bit watched. I'm not looking over there, but I know like if I had met someone that I knew on YouTube and followed them heavily, I'd be looking at them, right? Like if I met my current probably favorite social media star. I'm infatuated with this guy. Hyphonics. Look him up. Look up his stuff. Oh my God, I love him. If I saw him in a Japanese post office, I'd probably be like, what's he doing now? And especially like if you've learned language from a guy, you're gonna want to watch him interact in Japanese, you know? So now I'm also like, okay, but better not mess up my Japanese, you know? I'm self-conscious, right? But worse than that is I don't know what box I'm getting, either the big one or the small one. So I'm like, hey, do you mind if I use the sample box and see if I can't fit stuff in before I commit? I said, or I could buy the box right now, and if it doesn't work, I'll just keep the box and pay for another box, whatever. But she said you can use the sample. So I'm like, I got some underwear that I bought when my luggage didn't arrive to Korea, that first trip before I got to Japan. So I bought these underwear and they suck, but I don't want to throw them away. So I'm putting underwear in my bag. I'm trying to hide it. You know, he wasn't even probably looking, honestly. He's dealing with his car loan or whatever he's doing. So I'm like just being paranoid. But I was just like, I'm going to make this. Thank God my stuff was relatively organized beyond the underwear, which weren't even used, by the way. I bought like 4 of the same type. And the one is somewhere in my bag still. Yeah. But yeah, that was it. Japanese collegiate women's track and field for the win. Yeah, I mean, I'm all for sports like that. Stop it. You're a pervert. Don't do that. Women are accomplished athletes. They would destroy you. Trust me. History of football said, that's funny that there's literally, were you the one that asked you? I see. History of football came in, and then the question became Ronaldo or Messi. And here I am as an American thinking, Dallas Cowboys. George made learning Japanese fun and gave me the motivation to keep going when it seemed impossible. That is my 100% goal. And that's why I don't push the perfection stuff. And I don't believe in the perfection stuff, which is another reason I don't push it. Because if you push for perfection, the only end result is failure. Because you know who failed at being perfect? Everyone that claims you can be perfect in Japanese or that strives for it. Everyone. I was going to name some names, but let's not do that today. We know how I get when I talk about competition. History of football says, I go back to Australia from Tokyo. Hopefully I can keep it up. You're also Australian. Yeah, this guy goes back in March, but I believe he's probably going to marry this girl. He was telling me that the rumor in the guest house where he was, where she also was, and this is the part I didn't get. Why was she in a guest house? But I don't know people's situations. Maybe she had a bad, family thing happen and she moved out temporarily. But anyway, apparently her next relationship was going to be, and I thought he was telling me, yeah, and she was telling me that her next relationship, and I was like, with a foreigner. He goes, no, marriage. I was like, oh, yeah, that makes a lot more sense. And it's better that it's not, I'm just going to date a foreigner. That's my way of thinking. Next, I'll date a Korean. Then I'll date a Chinese. Then I'm going to try one of those Vietnamese. Like, that's my racist way of thinking. No, it was marriage. And as well, how old are you guys? She's like 31. I'm like, yeah, that's the time to get married for a Japanese person for sure. Like, they're definitely, it's on their mind, right? So yeah, I think it's going to happen. And he was a very romantic gentleman from what I heard. Her birthday was listed up on the board. I guess it was like May 4th or something like that. And he saw it and he asked her, like, what are you doing for your birthday? She said nothing. And he got her like a cake and a gift or something like that, which is like, oh my God, so romantic. Like, how could a girl not fall in love with that in Japan where that's just a thing you don't do? That's a very like drama thing to do. Like, you like the secretary in the bank or something like that, and you bring her a chocolate cupcake and then you have kids 3 years down the road, Yeah. So today's my last day. In 11 hours, I'll be on an airplane to Korea. I'm excited about that. I absolutely love Korea. I had a great time in Japan this time. So, yep, feeling good. Be nice to be back in I feel like Korea is my old stomping grounds. When I'm in Tokyo, it's not really my stomping grounds. My stomping grounds would be like Aomori, like way the back, way back up north, But Korea, it's always been Gangnam. So to go back to Gangnam, I haven't been back yet. I went back to Korea the other day, but I wasn't in Gangnam. So I haven't actually visited Gangnam. So to go back is gonna be nice. Yeah. Let's see here. Well, listen, like I say at the top of the broadcast, if you have questions about Japanese, I'm here for you. Probably a few people decided not to ever visit a live stream again after yesterday. It was very depressing, and I apologize for that. I was in a funky mood. I'm good now. And by the way, I'm not just good because I met someone that knew me. I'm just like, I think I'm better chemically this morning. The apple pie has chemically treated me properly. This has been prescribed by my doctor to get some of these every 4 or 5 months. Caveman Real H says, do you like Korean food or Japanese food better? Oh, Japanese. There's a lot of, this is the weird conundrum for me. I like Japan more than Korea. I like Japanese food more than Korea. I like Japanese trains more than Korean trains. There's like so many things that I just love about Japan. But because Korea's different, but yet I'm also comfortable there, I love it. And it's the fact that I'm learning Korean. The newness of Korean, it's still new after 10 years because I've been doing Japanese for like 30 years and I'm not married to a Korean girl. So like I don't have like practice all the time. So when I speak it, massive amounts of like happy hormones come out, you know, like dopamine, like, you could speak Korean. So, I love speaking Korean. And, you know, when I get a compliment in Japanese, I'm very used to it. You know, it's like, oh my God, it feels like I'm speaking to a Japanese person. A very common one that I get, that's like for me, that's the high level compliment. That's like it's above the Jozu, which I still believe is a real one when they first say it. But when they say that, after I'm going back and forth about the form a couple times, she's like, your Japanese is really, really good. And it feels like I'm talking to a Japanese person. I love that. But when I get that in Korean, when I get the, what do they say? They don't have a Joseph. My brain is Japanese right now. They would say like, 한국어를 진짜로 잘 하시나요? Or something like that. I say, by the way, this is a tell. When I say or something like that, I have a little bit of less confidence in what I just said. But when they say your Korean's good, to me, I'm like very happy. Very happy. And for me, the highest compliment is your wife Korean? Because that just means, wow, you speak enough Korean that it looks like you're married to a Korean woman. Or how many years have you lived in Korea? I love that one. One time someone was like, oh, you must have been in Korea for like 10 years. I'm like, oh, thank you. That's like a high compliment. Yeah. That's it. That's what I love doing. Where am I? But Caveman, I do really like, the Korean has spicy chicken, right? Spicy chicken with cheese on it. Cheese burdak. Love it. Also, Korea has these really great language meetups that I like to go to. And then I don't know why I remembered that. Probably because we always eat afterwards. So does Korean have generally more homely, less city feel homely / less city feel overall compared to Japan? The thing is, if you, I've said this before, but if you're dropped in the middle of a city in Korea, like in the middle of like a skyscraper level city, it'll take a moment to realize you're not in Japan. It's similar enough. But yeah, if you're walking in the back alley of a Korean area, you might come across a pig head, which just happened to me once, just like a pig head. Never saw that in Japan. It doesn't mean it doesn't happen, because there's a ramen shop even in Las Vegas called Montachaya, relatively near my house. And they used to be in one area, and they got kicked out because they had pig heads hanging in the back to make their chashu, I guess, for some reason. They were drying out the pig heads or something. And they got told like warned several times, don't do that. It's freaking people out. And then they moved to another location. So I know they do it in America, but in Japan, in Korea, like I've never seen that in Japan. I'm sure they do it, but it's probably hidden. But Korea was just like, yeah, here's some pig heads. It's definitely, I would definitely say, like, if you're walking in the city in Korea, you might come across a person selling tangerines out of a truck. You don't really see that in Japan, not in the big city. Michael Nauman says, what's PSI really like? Do you mean Psy? PSY? Unless I'm missing it, PSI, Psy. I never met Psy. I did go to his concert. He seems really awesome. He's my hero. Him and JYP, because they're like older men. Not maybe, I don't know. JYP might be closer to my age. That guy keeps his body super strong and fit. He's my hero. June, the moment I started hearing about pitch accent from those YouTubers, I got so stressed out and demotivated. Me too. But then I went back to studying from your books and videos, and everything was okay. See, June, that's the thing. That's really the truth. What's if you ask me, what's the most important thing when learning Japanese? What do you think it is? Verbs, words, grammar, nouns in general, knowing how adjectives work, accent, kanji, hiragana? No, it's not getting demotivated. It's not quitting. If you want to get good in Japanese, there's one universal thing you need: time in the language. Not perfect anything. Just keep going. You can't, listen, I'm going to tell you something. You cannot not get better if you keep learning. You will get better if you're using Japanese the longer you do it. If you watch my videos from 2003, I watched them over Christmas. I watched the Christmas 2003 video where the Japanese girls they're all like in their 20s now. They were like 4 and 5. Okay, the family friends, and we had them sitting on Santa's lap, and I was asking them what they want for Christmas. But we watched that all together like as a memory. And one of them, her name is Lena. She's like, "Oh, your Japanese is so different." Then it is. My accent is not as good. My flow is not as good. And I had already been in Japan 9 years, and I had been married already like 4 or 5 at that point, I think, because we already had Arisa, our baby at the time. She was a baby. So that, I mean, I had already been married. No, actually, at that time, I think I've been married 7 years. And my Japanese was not yet as good as it is now, right? So it kept improving. And the other day, you know, this is also makes me realize, I mean, I've always kind of known, but I don't push it too much. Immersion, having an immersion time in Japan is also really good. You know, a lot of that input, right? I've always known input's good and whatnot, but I mean, actually like using it and being around it is super important, because there are things that when I talk now, I don't know how to translate them into English. There's conversations when I get deep into the conversation, I'll say like words after another, like an AI, right? Like I don't know exactly why, but these words feel like they're good, and I'll say them. And then of course, after I've said them, I'm like, okay, let me see what, are they reacting? Yeah, they're having a normal conversation with me, so they probably worked. June said it's definitely not about perfection. It is not. It is definitely not. 100%. I'm glad you realized that, June. I'm glad I could be a part of that, and I'm sorry that you got demotivated at one point. Unfortunately, even doing it the way that I like to do it, you still get demotivated every now and then. You just got to know that's also part of the process. Getting demotivated, feeling like you're not good, it's all part of the process. I've said this more than once, but learning a language, learning anything is not clean. It's very dirty. It's very dirty. You learn 4 things, you forget 3. You say something embarrassing right after you thought you were saying something good. Like you'll say something, walk away going, oh, that was a good interaction. And then you realize, oh no, that was a horrible interaction. I messed up. They were just kind, or they understood me. Or you think you understand Japanese really good until you go into a convenience store and they say something to you that you weren't paying attention to. Even in McDonald's today, the guy asked instead of saying, "Tennai de meshiagarimasu ka?" which is what I'm used to hearing, which will you be eating inside the store? He said, "Tennai wa goryou desu ka?" I never heard that way of asking it. Will you be using the store today? And it took me a second. I was like, yeah, hi. Like, I didn't know where to go with that. I think that's what he said. Like, "Tennai wa goryou shimasu ka?" It's really weird. It's such a good blend. It's just the right amount of like sweetness on this coffee. What? Lord of the Flies vibes? Is it the lighting or what? Nice suit. This is a shirt. You guys are confusing me. Zono C says, you'll get the accent somewhat down after being exposed to it for a while. Yep, time is it. You cannot rush through. The first time it really hit me hard was when I was learning Chinese. I took a college class in Las Vegas, and you know how, like, if you have something to do, you just kind of like, I'll just do it like 30 minutes before I have to leave. You can't do that with Chinese homework. That's 2 hours of work, no matter what. You got to read the reading comprehension. You got to answer the questions. You got to write out all the characters. You got to go back and double check. I mean, it was 2 hours of work easily. Now imagine you're doing that all the time for not even that, but like there's so many things that you have to learn that if you rush it, you won't learn it. So you can't rush it, right? You have to, it's years, unfortunately, of working with it. Now, that doesn't mean that you have levels, in the early beginning that you can have a lot of great things happen. And as you step it up a little bit gradually, before you realize it, a few years have gone by and you're like, oh, I'm pretty good now. Yeah. And I'm used to it. I've seen so many people in so many different faces. I can tell, okay, this is where they are right now. Yep. This guy will be great. This guy, don't know. Some people, like, look, if my friend Tim is watching, okay, he's probably not watching, but if he's watching, Tim's never going to learn Japanese. He doesn't need it. He's got swagger in English. So Tim, I've known Tim now 5 years, I'm guessing. I've talked to him. He's like, yeah, been studying. He doesn't study. That guy doesn't study. I love Tim. Don't get me wrong, Tim, if you're seeing this, look, I'm younger than you, so I shouldn't even be, have this level of discussion with you, but you know what I'm talking about, Tim. Tim can pull a Japanese girl. He doesn't need to know Japanese to do that. He needs to know, like, he's the party trick level Japanese. He'll say a few words, and he'll get the Jozu, and that's good enough. He's too accomplished in life to need Japanese. He doesn't want it. He's not going to learn it. And there are young guys that I've seen that I'm like, yeah, you've been here a long time. You should be better than you are. So maybe it's just not need. You don't need it, or the level that you have is good enough for you. Zona was talking about pitch accent. Okay, I see. The pitch accent. You see, you'll get the pitch accent somewhat down after a while after being exposed to it. Shime Waza said, I didn't even know about pitch accent for most of the time studying Japanese. I need to move this up here, don't I? Now when I come across a new word, I do check the pitch accent because it's right there in my online dictionary app. Yeah, I think that's a good way to do it. I like that. Like when you learn a new word, just look at the pitch. Maybe see if you can memorize it that way. Oh, the pig head on a stick thing. I see. In Lord of the Flies. Okay. So yeah, Shimiwaza-san says he looks it up in the dictionary, but will I remember it when I use it? Yeah, that's the thing. That's why I don't like pitch accent. You can't remember it anyway. I just think about, okay, so I have a company, right? And I have employees, team members, whatever you want to call them, right? And when we used to have an office, I remember Kanako. For everything she would do, it was go to the menu, select, go to the sub menu and select the thing that she wanted to do. I mean, she didn't even know how tabs worked. She was like spacing to get things to the center. And so when I see the tabs thing is whatever, that's just, she didn't know how tabs work. Fine, now she does. But the menu thing where you're right clicking, it's the same thing on your phone when you're like, scroll, find it, be in that app. Then you want to go back to another app, you go back to the home screen, scroll, find the app, go to the app, and then you want to go back to the other app, you scroll, and go back to the app. That is super inefficient, okay? Imagine, so in the company, I say every time you look at the menu, that's like what, a half a second or a second? And over the scope of an entire day or over a week, over a month, that's hours of time you could have been doing more efficient work if you learned the shortcut. That's what I feel like pitch accent does. It's the opposite of that. It adds to the, for a minimum gain of, oh, that sounded better pitch accent wise when it didn't matter except for rain, candy, nose, nose, flower, and like a few other keywords where the pitch accent might be important if you're in Tokyo, right? You add how many seconds per word multiple times over hundreds of thousands of things you need to learn. It's not efficient. I just don't think it is. Now, there's something to be said for, in general, there's this rule. But I remember someone going through the rules with me once. Someone, I think it was like on Discord, and they were like, I'm going to show it to you. I was like, okay, fine. And they're like, look, here's this rule here. And, oh, wait, but it doesn't work there. Oh, no, it doesn't work there. It doesn't work there. And there was just exception after exception after exception. I was like, that's not a rule. If you could say, for example, all katakana words with 2 syllables are always omidaka. If you said that, I'm like, that's a fucking great rule. That will save me time. If it's got 2 syllables, you raise it on the end. Fine. But that's not how it works, right? It's like this word is this and this word is that. But when this word is part of another word, it's this. And when it's combined in a sentence with a verb, it's this. If it depends on the particle. No. I'm never going to dedicate time to that. And I don't think you should either. You know? But hey, to each his own, man. I'm not going to ban it. You know, I'll eventually probably add, we've talked about adding a pitch accent library to our dictionary and to our sentences. Why not? Why not? It's beneficial to some people, but it will be off by default. I do not want it on by default because all it does is make it seem more complicated. Ooh, Zonosi asking with a really good question. George, what Japanese comedians do you recommend we watch or listen to? Okay. You're gonna want to go with the funniest slapstick style comedy in the beginning, I feel. Before your Japanese gets up there. It's like an entryway in. Now, one that isn't slapstick but is hilarious in like a skit show, he passed away during Corona, is Shimura Ken. Shimura Ken. Shimura Ken, Ken. Look him up. He's got some skits. And he's a perverted old man, which is funny to me. I love those kind of people. That's old school comedian. If you watch now, this is a little bit more harder to watch. But okay, there's there's a debate of which one. There's so many comedians, but the most famous one is going to be Downtown. They have a show called Gakitsukai Arahende, but they speak in Kansai dialect, so that's a little bit difficult to watch, I think, when you're just a basic Japanese learner. But they are hilarious. They have a series where they do like stay in a haunted school for 24 hours and all sorts of things like in that school will happen, but they can't laugh. They're not allowed to laugh. And when they do laugh, they get like hit in the butt with a bat, with like a wiffle bat, or they get shot with a dart. Like they do stuff like that. It's super hilarious. Shimewaza says, I knew you were going to say Ken Shimura. Of course you knew. You're my shadow, Shimewaza. You know a lot. You're like me 5 years in the future. Okay? Shimewaza-san said, I spent 3 years in Osaka where the dialect there has completely a different pitch accent than the Kanto area. But these days I hear much more Hyojungo, so I'm sure my intonation is pretty effed up. You know what I realized this time around? I'm using a ton of Kansai dialect with my friend. When I'm with Yuki, even though she's from Narita, I'm doing Kansai dialect and I have to pull myself back. For some reason I've that's what I'm looking for. Defaulted to Kansai dialect. I bet Shimewaza can name 2 or 3 great. Ucha Nanchan, I loved them. But I don't know who's like the current modern awesome Japanese comedian. Like I watched Tamayura Gakuen on YouTube. I love those two. It's like a guy and a girl team. And I showed you them yesterday, but hey, why don't we do another one? Why don't we look again right now? Give me a second while I find a good one. I like them because they're accessible. Tama, oh my gosh, could I figure this out? Yura Gakuen. Okay. So I've said this before, but this group is it's a guy and a girl, and the guy acts. Oh, he's delusional. This is the joke. He's delusional. He's deluded into thinking he's dating this girl. The girl in the combi, in the group. And she's like, demo deito shite tsukiyatte nai desu. And she makes these like really fun faces. So I'm going to show you. Oops. Come on. All right. So I'm tempted to click the one with the bathing suit, but I'm not going to. So this is 今まで隠していたことを話します. I'm going to tell you what I've been hiding from you. Okay? Here we go.
皆様に、僕たちの、ちょっと今後についてお話し。
Now, as a viewer of this channel, this clickbait title would be, oh, they're going to finally admit that they're married to each other or that they're actually dating or something. But the joke will be, he's going to say something he's been hiding and she's like, そんなの関係ない. That doesn't matter. What are you talking about? That's nothing to do with me. Or something like that. Look at the look on her face. It's coming.
したいと思います。
ほう。
はい。
Yeah. See, she's like, oh, you're going to, see, right away, she doesn't know what he's talking about. She's just with him on the camera.
かしこまって話すことありますっけ？どうしました？どうしました？
Like, she doesn't probably know where he's going, except for the fact that he's going to go somewhere.
かしこまってる顔なんですかそれあなたの。
皆さんにね、ちょっと隠していたというわけではないんですけれども、
何ですかまた。
ちょっと
何ですかまた? What again?
改めてご報告。
何ニヤニヤしてんですかずっと。大丈夫です。
So he's gonna do a special announcement, and of course she's like, I don't know what you're talking about.
ですか？
僕たちカップルのその今後の活動について。
カップル。
So us as a couple, we're gonna talk about what we're gonna be doing next, and she's like, I know she's gonna say it. Here, I'll go back up. カップルじゃないですけど。
僕たちカップルのその今後の活動について。
カップルっていうのやめてくださいよ。ただコンビですから。
まあね。
Stop saying we're a couple. We're just a combination. A kombi is a Japanese comedian group.
カップル。
I love her expressions. Like, I'm a huge fan, and I'm a fan of this guy's awkwardness that he portrays. It's just such a funny pairing for me.
って活動しないですから。
YouTube
普通。
やっていて。
どうしたんですかシャキッとしてくれません？
今までこういうふうにカップルということで
だからカップルじゃないって言ったよね。
活動をしていたんですが、うすうす
というかずっと言ってますよね。
そのね見てくださっている方の中でも気づいていた方がいらっしゃる。
So he always draws it up. It's like, but this is what he's drawing out, and I was like, so as a couple, we've been doing this stuff, and I think that some of the viewers have already realized it, but
かもしれないんですが、ちょっと隠していたことがありまして。
Oh, here it is. Here's what he's hidden.
カップルって言ってるのが嘘だから。
Even saying that we're a couple is a lie.
何もよくわかんないんですけど。
2人でいろいろ話し合った結果。
何ですか？
皆さんにちょっとご報告しようかなとちょっと。
もう分かってるから早くスッと言ってくださいよ。最初に言ったよねそれはもう。
ということでじゃあ。
So we talked and we agreed as a couple that we were going to go ahead and tell you this thing.
何ですかもうさっさとやってください。
いい僕の口から。
どうぞ。
はい。
Oh, so should I say it? Like as if she knows, which is funny to me.
僕たちカップル結婚することになりました。
I knew he should have said I should have said it before he said it. Oh my god. Oh, we're getting married. We've decided to get married.
やめて何はい何もうカップルじゃないって言ってるからなんか結婚とかないから
その
進めていかないで
カップルの2人が好きだったよとかなんかカップルとして見て今まで
What's funny is this might be true, and that's the thing I don't know. They might actually already be married or they're gonna actually get married. I have no idea.
見ていたけどその結婚してしまうとちょっと見方が変わってしまうとかそういう風なね見てくれる方
嘘を大きくしていくのやめよう。
She's like, stop increasing the size of the lie. He's like, you might look at us differently once we're an actual married couple versus just a couple.
気持ちとかがあるかなっていう検討を2人にして。
Yeah, this is the omata guy. And by the way, I did it with Yuki the other day. She came and I was like, omata. She didn't get the joke though. She just said omatase. Like she didn't get the joke. Sorry. It didn't work. I'll have to try it again with another person.
でじゃあこれはちょっと隠していこうかそれとも公表しようかっていうふうに悩んだんですけど
そんなことは何も話してないですから別に
公表することにしました。
結婚することにしようってして結婚しますとか言っちゃって大丈夫ですか？
で結婚式なんですけれども
And as for the wedding ceremony, The whole time she's just disagreeing.
がないです。
7月のね、24日の、日曜日ですね。それ大体結婚式っていうのはさ、まあ普通にこう親族とか、まあ、友人とかしか招待しないじゃないですか基本的に。まあだけど僕たちこういう風にまあそのカップルチャンネルやってるということで、ちょっとぜひね視聴者の方、見てくださってる方もまあ実際ご招待したいなと。
Normally for a wedding you only invite like close friends and relatives, but because we've been doing this whole couple channel for all this time, I said it'd be great to have the viewers come. It's so funny. I'm not even going to finish watching it because I want you to finish watching it on your own. That was a year ago. Did they get married? I don't know. This might have just been an event where they act like they're getting married or they play it up. Like that's like the draw, right? Of course, yeah, it's closed. It's closed because you could have gotten tickets right here. You could have even streamed it live. Dude, now I don't know. I mean, and I don't know if the people that are in the comments are just following along with the congratulations on your wedding. Like, I don't know. Are they getting married though? Like, are they married? They probably are married at this point. Oh my God, I don't know. Okay, now I got to look it up. Am I in Japanese mode? No, Chinese mode. Okay. Tama Yura Kaku no. Wait, that's not. Is that how you write that? There. No futari wa kekkon shite imasu ka? So this guy said, the group Tama Yura Gakuen that are dating. Like what's better than delusion? Moso. Delusionally dating. Let's see if Moso has another translation that makes the English sound better. Delusionally. Fantasy. There you go. They're having a fantasy relationship. When I watch the two of them, I feel like they are going out. Oden to, I guess that's his name. I don't know. Wata'a Media Rina no. Is that Zetsumyo? Zetsumyo. Exquisite. 絶妙な掛け合いが本当に夫婦と思わせるほど、息が合ってる、合っていて面白い。Okay, yeah. So it seems like they're a couple. Let's see, is there actually a question here? Oh yeah, that's her. Yeah, Rina. That's her name. Where's the answer? Okay. Okay, so if you look at, it looks like they were going to get married, but if you look at the illustration that went with it, it looks like the bride was running away. I think that's this. Yeah, she's running away. I'm just going to scroll through here. No idea. I didn't know his name was Oden though. I'm guessing that it was like the fake wedding and then they didn't actually get married. Okay, not married. Here's the conclusion. Oden wa kekkon shite inai. I don't know what we're talking about. Triple saruko. Oh, that's the video where they talked about it. Okay, so they're not married. All right. No idea, guys, beyond that. I just want like a yes/no answer. Oh, wait. Dude, hang on. This is crazy. Let's see if ChatGPT can answer this. Let's see what ChatGPT can do. Okay. Let me log in. Am I logged in? Okay, I'm logged in. ChatGPT 4. Okay. Thought I copied that. Come on. My setup. Can't see my. Why can't I get into Japanese mode? There it is. Tama Yura Gakuen. Why is. I'm guessing that's the kanji for it, but I'm not. Tama Yura Gakuen no futari wa kekkon shite imasu ka? Let's see what if it knows that basic level. フレーズに関する詳しい情報、キャラクターについてのデータは OK. Damn it. Okay, doesn't know. Do you know of the Japanese comedian group called Tama Yura Gakuen? All right. Well, that would have been fun. Too bad. Zono C says, love those guys. Oh, this is the, yeah, that's the, okay. Fushoji. Yeah, I didn't read that word because I frankly didn't, I hadn't seen that word before. Let's see here. That's the thing that I miss not being in Japan. I miss a lot of like things. So here's the word we're talking about right here. Fushoji. Man, I've learned a lot of good words this trip though. Man, if I would just stay here for another year at this level of Japanese and I was walking around, I'm going to add that to my list actually, Fushoji. But that's not real. There's no way that she really did something bad. Fushoji. Oh, I have that other word too I wanted to look up the other day. Hang on. Where did I put it? Here it is. Hang on. So me and Yuki were having a hang on. Fushoji. Let me add that to my list. So me and Yuki were having a discussion about God or religion or something like that. I can't remember what it was. And I started telling her about last Thursdayism. I don't know if you've heard of that. So last Thursdayism is the idea that everything in the world, the universe, everything that you know was created last Thursday. And you can't disprove it. There's no way to disprove that that's not the truth, because even the history and the carbon dating that we could do and all that stuff is literally also came into existence last Thursday. Every single thing. The history of your life didn't exist until last Thursday. Can't disprove it, right? So I was like, well, how do you say disprove in Japanese? I know shoumei dekiru is to prove, right? Shoumei suru, shoumei dekiru, to be able to prove. But I'm like, is there a word for disprove? And the word I came up with, kutsugaesu, it's in my dictionary now, or hanshou suru. But here's what I came up with the real answer once I talked to her after a while. Japanese don't say that. They don't say disprove it or can you disprove it. They don't. They say you can't prove this thing isn't true. So they'll say like 木曜日すべてのものが木曜日にできていないことを証明できない. You can't prove that it wasn't made last Thursday. Not you can't disprove. So that was like a cultural thing. That's my current thought on that. And we'll see if I can, once I talk to my wife or Konako, I'll get a better thing for that. Jisedai means next generation. Yes, it does. You could try asking Google Bard in some respects. Okay, let's try. All right, and then I'm gonna hang up. I feel like we did a decent amount of fun today. Okay, so I don't even know how to get to Bard. That's okay. Here we go. Okay, cool. That's good to know. Try Bard. I'm signed in. Okay. Oh. All right, hang on. Let me. Yes. Okay. Oh my God. I wish they would just take me to the link All right, give me a second, guys. Let me go to my admin for YouTube. Not YouTube, for Google. Give me a second. You can't even search Bard. Apps. Google Workspace. Bard, okay. Go to the admin console and go to additional services. Here we go. Oh, this website's really hard to use. I don't even see Bard in here. Early access apps. Early. Where is that? There we go. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and add that. On for everyone. Save. Okay. So let's try bard.google.com. So this is going to take a few minutes anyway. Okay. Try Bard. Give it a second. I just gave it access. Give it a second, guys. What's up, chat? Quick question. Oh, yeah. Yes, Jisudai means next generation. I'm definitely taking a nap after this. I'm all apple pied up. Come on, Bard. Don't do this to me. Let me try again. Let me see if it's actually early access. This website's really crappy. Oh, it's not. It's still off. Really? On. Turn on. All right. Maybe now I can do it. Hang on. Okay. We are getting... I agree to you using all of my information. Bard is an experiment. Okay. Okay. Do you know of the Japanese comedian group called Tama Gakuen? This is my first time using Bard, so kind of interesting. Yes, I'm aware of the Japanese comedian group. Okay. They're a comedian troupe consisting of 5 members. What? Hang on, dude. I gotta move my other monitor's in the way. Hang on. Okay, there we go. Junji Takada, Hiroyuki Miyasako, Toshiyuki Nishida, Katsuhiro Nishida. Oh, related maybe? And Masahiro Nakazawa. Wait, really? This doesn't seem right. This doesn't seem right. This is too old. Yeah, this isn't them. Now I'm wondering if it's fake. Okay. Let's do this Japanese mode here. Tama Gakuen te していますか? Here we go. Okay. So, are they married? Okay, so. All right. Tama Yuda. 学園の2人は結婚していますか? It knew who they were. They're not. There it is. 結婚していません. They're just fantasy couple dating. That's the concept. So they right now they have no relations like that. Okay. Okay, it does say that Yoi Fufu no Hi on Good Couple Day for 2023-11-22. They have a joke that they're doing where they're getting married. Kekkondatsu ga. Okay. It looks like Kekkondatsu is probably wedding. Datsu is like used in Datsumo. These are all words that I don't know. Kekkondatsu. Marriage theory. Oh, Setsu. My God, I'm an idiot. Yeah, let me type in Datsumo. Datsumo. Oh my God, just because it had the same radical on one side, I messed it up. Kekkon setsu. Where'd that go? Where did it go? This I don't know. That's just like float and up. I don't know this word. Maybe like Josho or something like that. Fujo? I don't know this word. Chisho. Fujo. I know ukiagaru. I don't know fujo. Interesting. But this was just a joke. In other words, they're not married. Okay, so that's all that was. Yeah, if they got married, it would kind of ruin the couple for sure. There was another couple I was watching. I can't remember their name now. But once they had a baby, it kind of ruined the whole fun for me. Fujo suru. It's a good one to know, says Shimewaza. Of course, Shimewaza is George Stromby in the future. Of course, I know it now from the future, Shimewaza. Of course, I know it. Kekkon setsu. Setsume. Was it? Yeah, I know it's setsume no setsu. Thank you. I never know if you're typing that the moment that I'm not understanding something or if you're typing it after. You didn't get me into a rabbit hole, no, yeah, that's fine. Okay, well, listen. It was fun. We learned Fushoji. Is that what it was today? Fushoji. I guess I lost it. I put it in the thing. I think it's Fushoji. Scandal. Good word. All right, guys. Thanks for coming. I'll see you. The next time I see you, I will be in Korea. So we're going to end, as always.
Not sure I understand.
Yeah, you don't need to understand. As always, we're going to end. We're going to end with it. We're going to end a little bit different today because it's like the last day in Japan. We're going to end a little bit more fun. Fun's probably not the right word for it. See ya. Bye.
なんのことかな。な